Welcome, students, to the spring 2020 version of Western Civilization 2, History 1123. This course is designed essentially to take you through Western civilization from essentially the Renaissance and the Reformation all the way through to as close as we can get to the modern day. To help get you started, we're going to run through some of these steps that you see on the home page here, which is what you'll see when you log in. And I have mine set up to show you the student view that you will see when you log in. You'll see the navigation over here to the left, the home page here that has some valuable information that we'll go over, some important dates here at the bottom, and your task stream over here that is showing you when some of your first assignments are due. There will be a video, which we're doing right now, that will show up right here as well that you will need to make sure that you watch and go through. All right, so let's kind of go through some of these steps to get started. Number one, the home page tells you go and click on the syllabus. So if you'll click on this link right here, or you can click on the syllabus link over here, and it will take you to the course syllabus. Now, of course, this is super important, and you need to make sure that you read it carefully. It has everything about my information, how to get in touch with me, my office phone, email, where we talk about how email is the preferred mode of communication because I'm in and out of the office. So email is always the best way to get in touch with me. Course information, which you can read for yourself, including course goals and objectives and outcomes, which you'll need to make sure that you can read through. Our text, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and what instant access means. The topic outline, how the course moves, the topics that we cover, how you'll be graded, including your homework, your discussion, and your exams. Important information here about the which exams are proctored, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. The grading scale, attendance. Okay, notice that attendance is taken using due dates for assignments. Failure to turn in assignments on time will result in you being marked absent. No late work is accepted. Proctored exam information. Again, the attendance policy, the notice of absence policy, the withdrawal procedure, academic honesty, information about plagiarism and cheating, which you all will need to be familiar with as well. And then finally, non-discrimination, disability support, video surveillance, and emergency procedures, and netiquette. Since this is an online class, you'll especially need to be familiar with that. And if you keep scrolling to the end of the syllabus, you'll start to see the course calendar as well. And so that shows up, and that is essentially the due dates in the course. All right, so after reading this carefully, I cannot stress how important it is to read the syllabus. Okay, I would suggest maybe even printing it out so that you'll have it nearby. All right, course, many questions that students will ask during the course of the class can be found in the syllabus, so make sure that you read that and you familiarize yourself with it. All right, let's go back to the home page real quick, and you'll see that the next kind of step after reading your syllabus is to go to the modules. Okay, this course runs through modules, and students sometimes will get over here and they'll get caught up in this to-do list, and they never go to the modules. The course runs through modules. Okay, it is the way the course is organized, and if you don't go to modules and check out kind of how the course is progressing, you miss stuff. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Okay, so let's click on the modules, and it will take us to the modules page, which looks like this. Okay, in there you will see the opening week policies, introductions. Okay, and all of this stuff is up here for you. Okay, including information about instant access. Again, we're going to come back to that in a minute. Testing, which we've talked a little bit about, and how you sign up for that. The course policies are here, including some general course policies, a little bit of information about me, and some minimum computer requirements and some technical skills you need to be make sure that you have. Okay, and then you get to our first assignments like the orientation survey and our week one discussion. Notice these will have due dates. Okay, they will show up in the modules just like they show up on that taskbar over here. So if you will go through the modules, sometimes you will get a little bit more information. For example, if you keep scrolling, here's our first chapter. Links to the readings in MindTap, which I'll tell you a little bit about later on. All right, but also some assignments here and including some additional resources here. Okay, then you'll go on and there's our next chapter. Notice the due dates are there. Okay, and then you get down to chapter 17, chapter 18. Okay, and all of a sudden you'll start to see some of these things start to creep up, like our proctored exam, okay, and the due dates for that. So make sure that you go through the modules, okay, that the modules are essentially how the course runs, okay, so make sure that you go and take a look at those, okay. All right, let's head back to the home page again, okay, and once we get back here, we will move on to talk a little bit about our textbook, okay. This is an instant access course, okay. The textbook information, instant access bookshelf link right here has information about what an instant access course is and how you can access your textbook further, okay. But we're going to take a break here for a second. Let's scroll back up. If you guys notice right over here, there is a link called bookshelf. So let's click on that. When you do, this will open, okay, a page, and it will have our textbook right here, okay, and you will need to click Read Now. Once you do that, it's going to open up a page and ask you to create a username or password, okay. If you have used VitalSource before in other online classes, then you should have an email address. Okay, you can put in your Heinz email address here and just see if you already have an account. If you don't, okay, then you will need to put in an email address. So let's put in just a test student address here and click continue. Okay, it's going to ask you for a password. Okay, if you already have an account. Okay, if you don't have an account, okay, I'm going to go back a second. Okay, and let's get out of this for a second. All right, and let's go back, and I want to show you what it looks like if you don't have an account. Okay, so when this opens, then I'm just going to put in Joe Student at heinzcc.edu. Let's click on that, and it's going to pull this page up. Okay, so put your first name, your last name, create a password that you can remember, and your Heinz password, the default password will work for this. So you can always use that one, or you can just make up one that you use and that you are familiar with. Doesn't matter, but it has to make sure that it conforms to all of these requirements. It must have, for example, 8 characters, an uppercase letter or lowercase letter, and a special character. Okay. You have to create a security question, okay, which you will answer. So if you put in football or whatever here, that will, to reset your password, you have to remember the answer to that. So there are others that you can choose, okay, but you answer that, you click agree, and once you do that, you will be done. Okay, click finish, and it will create the account. You should have to log in one time, and after you're done with that, then you should be done with it. You should never have to do that again. Okay, so this is just to create the VitalSource account so that you can get access to the textbook. Okay, I want to go back, and I am going to take myself out of student view because I want you to see what happens after you create your account. From here on out, after you come into Bookshelf, then you should get this page. You click Read Now, and the textbook will open. Okay. And once it opens, then this menu sort of appears. Okay. And we're going to start in chapter 1. So this is the table of contents link. If you hover over them, it tells you how to move through here, okay? But we want to go to the table of contents, okay? And we want to go to chapter 1. So we want to go to chapter 1, and there we are, okay? Now, if you want to get rid of this, you can just click on it again, and that will disappear. And now you're in sort of the reader and how the reader looks. To move from page to page, you move from page to page like this, okay? And you can set the zoom level that you want. You can have it read to you, okay? You can highlight it, okay, to save for later, okay? There are all sorts of things that you can do to as you move through here. So, for example, you can click on the highlight here, and let's say I like red, okay? So you can go through here and let's say I think this is important because he asks a question about this or whatever. And so when I let it go, and you guys can see it highlights it, okay? And that will stay there, okay? So, and once you log in, then you will be able to see that. Okay, so that's how you gain access to your textbook. Remember, hover over it and it tells you what it is. You click on it and the table of contents will open and you can move from place to place. Okay, let's go back to the home screen and let's kind of tie up a few loose ends before we finish, okay? Now I'm back in as me, so it looks a little bit different for me, so don't kind of get scared a little bit. You can finish the rest of this stuff pretty much on your own, making sure that you get access to your textbook up here by clicking on bookshelf is the most important thing you can do during this first day or two, okay? The next thing is, and I'll kind of remind you about this, I will send out some emails and tell you to make sure that you started to sign up for your proctored testing, that you finished up reading a lot of this stuff, and then make sure that you start working on these first week assignments, which are, and will start showing up over here in your task stream, including the week 1 discussion and the orientation survey. Okay. Here are some important dates. Make sure you look at those. Course begins January 13th. Okay, drop add, last day to withdrawal, last day of class, and when your grades will be posted. Okay. Now, one thing, let me kind of make sure that to kind of show you some of these. Okay, if you go and click on the week 1 discussion, which is your first assignment, this is what it pops up and looks like. Okay, there's some instructions in here. Okay, about what you do. And to answer, this is a discussion board. You click reply right here. And when you do, a text box will pop up and you type your response in there. Okay. And then you click post. Okay. It will not show up until you click post. Okay. So make sure that you get in there and that you post this. And mine's already in there. So make sure that you read that. Okay. The other thing that you'll be doing is the syllabus quiz, and that is up there. That's the, if you go down here, that is the orientation survey. Okay, so you'll need to make sure that you have all of that completed by that time. All right, that's enough to get you started. Okay, I would suggest that the first thing that you do is to make sure that you get over here, you read the syllabus, you create your bookshelf account, you start working on these first week assignments, and that you get into the modules and start looking around. Okay, let's have a good semester, and I will talk to you guys again shortly.